Leaves, the green mystery. What would the world be without leaves of plants? And what would the plant be without leaves? Simply to say, nothing. Impossible to think otherwise, as much as we cannot think of the earth without air, a human being without lungs, or a fire without heat. The green leaves are the global lungs of our planet. Their breath bestows the most vital energy to all living beings on Earth. We can also call the leaves solar batteries of Mother Nature, because they drink, store and transform sunlight in the most fascinating way and use this light not only for photosynthesis, to breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen, but also for multiple pathways inside the plant's own living structures. No wonder that numerous essential oils stem from the leaves and the incredible dynamics of transformation. The vital energy of nature and the plants is a vortex of life, and in their threefold structure they reveal a universal principle. The ancient wisdom of humanity divided the plants into three different levels. The first level, the roots, naturally connected to the earth. From there they absorb water and minerals, the latter with the help of tiny little fungi called mycorrhizae, which form the underground network of the so-called soil food web. They are a symbiotic association between a fungus and a plant. The term mycorrhizae refers to the role of the fungus in the plant's rhizosphere, its root system. Mycorrhizae play important roles in plant nutrition, soil biology, and soil chemistry. Quote end. And important, contrary to the other organs of the plant, the roots hide away from light. Most of them would die if exposed to light for too long. Essential oils from the roots naturally carry the earth element in them, and thereby help us to ground and harmonize our energies. This expresses itself also in their biochemistry, showing richer presence of denser compounds, such as sesquiterpenes and sesquiterpenols, for example. Second, we have the blossoms. They are naturally connected to the light, and not only to the light, but also in a very subtle way to the invisible astral environment, the realm of pranic energies, cosmic energies, energies of colors, of fragrances, etc. Actually, the famous German poet and nature scientist Johann Wolfgang von Goethe was not wrong when he said that the blossom is nothing else than a metamorphosis of the leaf. Of course, in its effulgent energy and transformation skill, the blossom is the one which carries the burden and joy of attraction, seed production, procreation, etc., which means also shorter lived in its existence, but also much more capable of expressing the creative skills of Mother Nature, infinite playfulness and richness of elements of beauty, thanks to endless varieties of perfume, of shape, and of color. Also, this finds its echo in the essential oils of the blossoms, which are amazingly abundant in biochemical richness and fragrance, often highly seductive and even aphrodisiac for the human psyche. And then coming to the third, the leaves. They are mostly right in the middle, between the root and the blossom. They do not occupy this place by coincidence, of course. Nature loves to play with the threefold pattern of the universe, and where there is an opposition, as between the roots and the blossoms, there must naturally be an intermediate agent who passes the information flow from one to the other, imbibing itself with both of the opposite values. In the ancient knowledge of alchemy, the leaves are understood as an element of Mercurius, the mediator, the one which is in the middle and knows how to connect. Whereas the roots represent the value of Sal, or the mineral world, and the blossoms, the element of sulfur, the one which stretches out to the other realm, understood as the astral level, which can also extend to a higher level of plant evolution, for example, to the animal kingdom. And so, the same here. To summarize, the root of the plant is striving to get nearer to the matter fields, meaning to the minerals, the earth. The blossom of the plant can be understood as nearer to the astral, consciousness field of nature, nearer to its transformational energy fields. And the leaves, fluctuating between the two, are the main initiators and organizers of the here and now, in their creative intelligence of opening with their white fans to the light and metabolizing the light in rhythms of vital inhalation and exhalation. Yes, leaves are the light givers, and they are the connectors between the gravitational, the root force, and the anti-gravitational, the blossom force, these two principles in nature. But they are not less desirous to link themselves to the finer strata of energies, let it be environmental or cosmic. Here a quote from Wolf-Dieter Stoll in his book Pflanzendevas. Plants eat to their cosmic and stellar energies. It is with their leaves that they suck in the vital forces hidden in the waves of light, store them in their tissues, and, by allowing themselves to be eaten, transmit these vital forces to other creatures. End of quote. We are often not fully aware of the power of essential oils stemming from this inherent vital dynamism of the leaves and their subtle connection with prana, or the intelligent life force in the universe. Again, a quote from Wolf-Dieter Stoll here. Plants transmit to us the primordial sound or mantra of the universe, and thus offer life to us. Plants are able to connect the here and the now with the beyond. In the sacred language of the Vedas, plants are called Oshadi or Aushadi. The meaning of this word is Osha, which is a burning transformation, and Di, which just means a vessel. In this sense, plants are considered vessels for creating metamorphosis of the cosmic fire. End of quote. Everything absorbs light on Earth, and of course sunlight is the most important energy charge on our planet. Visible and invisible waves which foster life in their unique mixture of frequency bands. Also, the chemical composition of essential oils is influenced by the various qualities of light available in different geographic zones of the Earth. Leaves are major agents for making the enormous richness and varieties of essential oils available. What would we do with our existence without the magic of plant photosynthesis, allowing the leaves to absorb sunlight and carbon dioxide, combining this with water from the roots, and sending out an infinity of energy and biochemical impulses of growth to the inner realm of the plant's existence? Yes, truly we can say, sunlight is the universal mitochondria of the worlds, vibrating in every nerve, every fiber of the plant, with memories of the first impulses of creation through all eternities. And photosynthesis, the synthesis or combined transformation through light, is only possible thanks to the leaves. Chlorophyll is the green master engineer in this process, capturing the energy of the sun and transforming his light into biochemical energy. Chlorophyll, this enigmatic sorcerer of transformation, captures light particles and thereby gets into such a high state of energy that the molecules of water, the H2O, are split. Only through this process, oxygen can be released into the atmosphere. In a second reaction, The carbon dioxide, the CO2, is then absorbed from the air and synthesized into glucose and starch, with the help of the remaining hydrogen atoms from the water, creating the famous carbohydrates that are the basic building blocks of life. Through this process, the leaves of the plants at the atomic and particle level are able to transform inorganic molecules into organic ones. This is quite a miracle indeed. And this plant factory of carbohydrates through the leaves is the basic center for all life processes on Earth. Again, from Wolf-Dieter Stoll here, photosynthesis builds up between 100 to 200 billion tons of organic matter every year. To summarize, from oxygen, hydrogen and carbon, the plant will create its skeleton or hardware according to its specific genetic code. But only in certain cases, the glucose or starches, which it has created with the help of the sun, will be transformed into essential oils. The plant will store these in specific glands and even consumes them to a certain degree if it lacks sunlight due to sudden climatic changes. And who would think of all this when we eat a salad or any part of a plant? And who would think of this when we are inhaling a clary sage oil, for example, that in a sense we fuse with cosmic energies via nature's alchemy and power transformation. We can empower ourselves endlessly by aligning ourselves with nature and her wonderful gifts in the plant kingdom. What is written in the ancient texts of India on the cities about the special powers that humans can acquire? The powers are revealed at birth, or they are acquired through plants, Oshadi, repeating sacred words, austerities, or samadhi. This is from Patanjali, the Yoga Sutras. So the plants play an important role to acquire perfection, or siddhis, in the human consciousness. But leaves not only breathe, they can also protect us. Of course, when we think of leaf oils, we immediately associate ourselves with the respiratory system. So many essential oils stemming from leaves are wonderful helpers for our bronchi and lungs. Myrtle, for example, eucalyptus, niauli, cajeput, rosemary, all the conifers, tea tree, bay laurel. Leaves are natural signature givers for our breathing system, with no doubt. And as already mentioned, most of the aromatic treasures of essential oils are stemming from leaves. But leaves can also include other features. Normally, most of the water for a plant is provided by the roots, but also the leaves absorb water to a certain degree from rainfall, from dew, and atmospheric humidity. This is not always the case, of course. The cistus plant, for example, is special in this context. Breathing is one thing, and cistus does it perfectly well, but with its labdanum resin-like substance on the surface of its leaves, cistus protects itself against dehydration, a major threat under the hot sun around the Mediterranean regions. It is these leaves which are distilled to yield the precious Cistus ladaniferos essential oil, the rock rose oil, a powerful wound healer in aromatherapy. It is not surprising to understand the antiseptic and wound healing effects of cistus oil. The epicuticular leaf wax on cistus not only functions as a modulator for water balance in the plant, and thereby protecting the plant against dehydration, but the essential oil linked to the plant wax further adds an important antimicrobial defense to this. In terms of signature reading, this capacity makes us understand the strong protective screening capacity of cistus oil for wound healing, including its efficiency to build up a shield against bacterial or fungal infections on the human epidermis. Another example of leaf protection is the lotus, the nelumbo. The nelumbo is famous for the so-called lotus effect. This is nothing else than a self-cleaning or surface protective effect of the very special leaves of the plant. Quote, a result of ultra-hydrophobicity as exhibited by the leaves of nelumbo or lotus flower. Dirt particles are picked up by water droplets due to the micro and nanoscopic architecture on the surface, which minimizes the droplet's adhesion to that surface. Ultra-hydrophobicity and self-cleaning properties are also found in other plants and also on the wings of certain insects. Quote end. In ancient India, the sacred lotus was always considered to symbolize invincibility. The large leaves exposed to constant water and its impurities are protecting the plant due to its impenetrable leaves, a natural kavach, as the Vedic philosophy described it, a natural armor of defense, meaning an invisible defense system for protecting the plants against all kinds of invasions. Maybe it is not too far-fetched to consider the lotus blossom oil also in this context as a powerful protective plant oil stemming from the intrinsic shielding energy of lotus as such. To summarize, the essential oils of leaves represent very special dynamics within the rich world of plant medicine. The evolutionary pattern of the leaves was to help make our planet inhabitable and the beginning of life on Earth by clearing the atmosphere from toxic gases and creating a condition for all respiratory processes of life, meaning also for all spirit processes of life, namely allowing to rise, encouraging to grow, helping to connect, etc. In the ascending and horizontal dynamics, opposite to the descending force of the roots and the ascending force of the blossoms, the dynamics of the leaves in itself serve as a natural vortex or energizer, allowing the interchange of polarities to happen, and thereby functioning as a mediator and receptor of cosmic and earth-point energies. Leaves with their mainly two-dimensional structure, often large and receptive, allow maximum exposure to solar, lunar and stellar forces. As eaters of sunlight and as the carbohydrate transformers via photosynthesis, as we saw, the magic synthesis of light into matter, they represent the mercurial messenger, as we saw, the messenger value in nature. This is a powerful process of energy. Considering all this, we may associate ourselves in so many different ways with the numerous essential oils from leaves and, on one hand, observe or admire the immense variety, and on the other hand, also learn to trust on a common basis of understanding that the leaf oils will never leave us without an answer.